From Whittles Field, this is Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse. Tonight, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose underneath the Friday night lights. Cavaliers taking on St. Mary's here in Anne Arundel County. This one always means a great deal. Glenn Clark alongside Andrew Scally. This is a big one. It's a big one because every game in the A Conference is a big one, but there's something special about Spalding and St. Mary's on a Friday night.
For sure. I mean, you said it. This is definitely one that both teams circle on their schedule as soon as it comes out. These guys are neighbors with each other. They go to the same parties. They hang out with the same people. There's a lot of competition between these two.
Andrew, it's been an interesting last couple of games for the Cavaliers, right? Games where they jumped out the big leads. Games where they weren't able to hold on to those big leads. Different results in those two games. How important do you feel like it was the Cavaliers were able to get the win on Tuesday against St. Paul's and maybe learn from some of the mistakes they made in the McDonough game?
Yeah, I was talking with Coach Hockle. I think the team has had a lot of interesting results, but you got to learn how to win. And for a young team that's learning to gel early in the season, winning that 50-50 game is huge, and hopefully can build that momentum tonight.
Bradley Strong out there for St. Mary's for the first face-off. Brody Wills for the Cavaliers. It's going to belong. Well, it looked like it was going to be early. Strong, but how about that setting the tone? Carson Blair allows the Cavaliers to claim the first possession of the game. Starters for the Cavaliers: Brady Mollot, Adam Schwab, Colby Evans on attack, Brody Moss, Zach Gutierrez, Gavin Carpenter in the midfield, Jackson Hines, Brady La Rochelle, Aiden Reinecker defensively, and Kylan Riley once again between the pipes. Seems to be that the best things tend to happen when things go through Mollot.
100%, yeah, he's definitely been a shining star here early in the season.
Moss gets topside. Nice save made by Brody Fuller, the sophomore goalkeeper from Stevensville. I think I'm with you, though. I like the take.
Yeah, right there. I mean, on Tuesday, we saw Spalding kind of applying some pressure out on the perimeter with St. Paul's. Right there, St. Mary's kind of doing the same thing, taking a page out of their playbook, pushing out to the 45-yard line, daring guys to make plays. And right there, ran by his guy. Good hard take, good save. So hopefully that's a indication of future success here.
Gardner, the shorty, brings it over for St. Mary's. They have their first possession of the game. Attack: Connor Gale, James Brimhall, and Patrick Clune. Midfield: Chase Overend as well as Henry Dion. As that one's loose, and it's going to go the other way as it's picked up by Hines. And he works his way through traffic.
I haven't seen a one-handed long pole cradle in a while. Great play there.
Transition. The Cavaliers will settle. The starters, let me finish them. Well, maybe. Blair was thinking about it. Smartly gets rid of it. It was a little bit awkward, but Brilan Jones was there. First midfield for St. Mary's. Mentioned Chase Overend as well as Rocco Polito and Henry Dion. Defensively, Scotty Hommel, Spencer Gale, and Connor McAndrew. And Brody Fuller, who already made that early save in the cage for the Saints. Spalding 4-5 on the season, 2-1 in conference play. Gutierrez didn't pull the trigger. We noticed on Tuesday, he had a couple that didn't go early, maybe a little bit gun shy, but he scored a big goal late.
Yeah, definitely short memory, kept firing away. That's what you got to do as an offensive player. If it's not going anywhere early, just keep shooting. Eventually something will drop.
Down to 20 on the possession clock for the Cavaliers. 4-2 here at home this season. From outside, the bouncer, Carpenter, denied on the rebound. Another great save from Fuller. Quick clear for the Saints.
Two big stops there. It's huge for St. Mary's confidence defensively. Getting peppered early and making some saves. The goalie's standing on his head early. Offense can't seem to help him out over here. Two back-to-back turnovers.
His goose back into the field, but no blue shirts in the area. Hines able to come pick up the ground ball. Cavaliers, as we mentioned, coming off that 10-9 win over St. Paul's here at home on Tuesday. Before that, a 12-11 defeat at McDonough back on March 31st. See the second midfield get out there, including Blake Morris, the sophomore who has it in his stick. Waits for his friends to get out. taking their time. Maybe no one will notice that Gavin Carpenter's out there. Turns out that's not the case. They saw him. Carpenter behind him. Mollot passed a little bit low, but he's able to scoop it up. What a season Mollot's having. 14 goals, 29 assists. On the redodge, nothing there for Carpenter. He's in trouble. Somehow able to hold on. Now Mollot. One-on-one at X, makes his move and scores. That young man, oh, does he have a few things up his sleeve.
Got a little bit for the St. Mary's sideline there, too. A little stare down after the bucket.
Mollot deciding this time to just use speed.
Might have gotten away with a slash there. I saw, some plastic come down over his face mask on this replay.
Let's watch it one more time.
Yeah, right
oh,
there.
yeah.
A little chin music.
Good point.
Ran through it.
You think that's going to bother Brady Mollot? Come on, man.
I mean, we started talking about him as a freshman, on varsity. That's always a tough question. Do you put a freshman who's slightly undersized but has a skill set and has a bright future up on varsity, have him get the reps, or do you keep him down JV and, just get more playing time? And I think they made the right call.
Yeah, the
his
talent.
Freshman year is get him up there, get him used to it. He's been seeing checks like that at goal line extended for years, and, the confidence showing today. He runs right through it and buries it.
The talent, the pedigree, undeniable for the number 19 overall ranked player in the class of 2026, according to Inside Lacrosse. Brady Mollot with his 15th of the season. He had 2 goals, 4 assists in the win on Tuesday. 1-0. Cavaliers grab the early lead. Looking for an answer, some space, and a bouncer for Connor Gale.
Tell you what, both goal scorers have a little something to say to the sidelines. A little stare down.
This is what we're talking about.
Started with the first face-off, big hit. These teams definitely don't like each other.
This rivalry, Jones a little bit slow to try to close out. Connor Gale's 21st of the season, the junior attacker from Annapolis, and future Salisbury Seagull. Of course, the alma mater of one Evan Hockel. Now, how many times do you see that? It's got to be a push. Wow. Ground ball picked up by Kelly, who's the second faceoff specialist for the Cavaliers, but they don't hold on to it. Kelly came in today 38.6% on the season. I just want to go over this. The first goal of the game for Spalding was scored by Brady Mollot. He's going to go to Maryland. The head coach at St. Mary's is, of course, Maryland legend Will Dalton. On the flip side, the first goal of the game for St. Mary's was scored by future Salisbury Seagull Connor Gale. The head coach of the Cavaliers is former Salisbury Seagull Evan Hockel. I'm going to put it all up on the board. We're going to intertwine it and try to figure out.
Glenn, is that you or is that Sherlock?
It's a conspiracy.
You got Sherlock
I don't know
Holmes
exactly how to explain it, but it's a conspiracy. Oh, and I got another one for you in a second after this possession.
I mean, save some for the imagination right now. It's a long game.
Patrick Clune picks it up. Saints able to hold on.
I mean, Glenn, that's why you're the best. It's, live, just breaking it down like that.
It's almost like I'm capable of doing math. Big check, and they're going to call that a shot? What?
And was a Spalding player out of bounds when it went out? He was definitely closest.
La Rochelle doing the work to impact. Apparently it was a shot. Turnaround bouncer, not on target for Will Hoyt. Backup is there, but there's, let's see. Yeah, the officials I think are going to say put 1 or 2 on the clock. And I think it'll be appropriate, but I don't think it's going to change the result. The Saints not even really faking as though they're going to try to jam it in the front.
They're dropping back in a ride here.
Okay. I got something even crazier for
Buckle up. How can it get crazier than what we just went
Last
through?
year, when these two teams got together on the road, Archbishop Spalding came away with a 17-9 victory. 2 years ago, right here at Whittles Field,
let me guess.
Archbishop Spalding defeated St. Mary's by a score of 17-9. Now, 3 years ago, Archbishop Spalding lost that game. They did lose the last time they lost to St. Mary's 3 years ago. Do you know what the score of that game was?
8-4.
17-9. The last 3 times these teams have faced each other, the final score of the game, that's going to be a penalty. Easy call. The last 3 times, the final score was 17-9.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
How do you figure that? How do you figure?
You need like the back office ESPN statisticians. They're feeding you this stuff.
What is the possibility of that being the case?
It also shows the depths of preparation that you go through.
Brother,
I mean, you're back at 3
leave
years back
no
looking for
stone
data points.
unturned when we're preparing for a broadcast around here. Unnecessary roughness against Brody Gallant, the junior. 1 minute penalty. First man up opportunity for the Cavaliers. 8 of 18 this season on the extra man, converting at a 44.4% clip. Mollot right to the doorstep. Wow. That was a great opportunity for Carpenter.
That's definitely a great look there from Mollot. The man-up opportunities this year have been a little lackluster, in my opinion. You want to be converting at a little over, you want to be definitely over 50%, but they get a little sloppy. I think they run out of patience, and right here we're seeing a little pressure out from St. Mary's, see how they respond to it. But it all runs through Mollot here.
Mollot up top. They're drifting a bit out towards him, and a great chance, but off the pipe. Gutierrez with all sorts of heat on the shot, but just couldn't tuck it inside. 20 seconds still on the penalty. Saints have to clear. They'll come to the near side. McAndrew will carry it over himself. Just 10 seconds left on the penalty. The Cavaliers aren't going to force anything. So they will begin 0 for 1 on the extra man tonight. 2 great chances, however. All that information I just gave you, I don't know what to make of any of it other than aliens. I think it's the only thing I can come up with. I'm not saying it's aliens, but aliens. And since 2022, the last time these two teams played a game that didn't finish at 17-9, that was an 8-6 victory for the Cavaliers.
Predictions for tonight?
I would be insane to not say 17-9. But we're not off to that type of start, so it seems unlikely. Save those words. Send them to freezing cold takes on Twitter. Moving back, Brimhall trying to get his hands free, down to 6. He gives it up, and I don't know. They're aware of the shot clock ticking down, and they're not going to. Oh, they call it a reset. They call it a good shot.
There's no way that was.
I can't believe that. They're saying that's blue ball.
They gave a reset on the pipe.
I'm not sure.
I thought there was that 0-0.
First, I'm not sure that the shot got off in time.
I agree.
Second, okay. St. Mary's ball. Prolonged offensive possession going up. Heary not able to hold on, but gets it back. Heary trying to dodge free. How about that? Back-to-back games. Vinny Berger coming away with big over-the-head checks. Berger pushes it ahead. Cavaliers.
Good trail.
Delayed. Bouncer. Good. Brilan Jones.
Yes, sir.
How you like that for a juice goal?
You look at the sideline. They're loving it.
Vinny Berger. He's made some big-time plays the last couple of games.
I mean, what a patient find here. The slow break.
And the bouncer put home by Jones off the feed from Mollot. Second point of the game for Mollot. And Jones is comfortable on the other side of the field. He's a classic two-way midi. 6th goal of the season for Brilan Jones, the Davidsonville native. He had a goal on Tuesday, so goals in back-to-back games.
I think Mollot, knows that he can play both ways. A lot of times he's sitting there analyzing, hey, who do I have transition from defense to offense? I would say 9 times out of 10, you're not throwing to anybody that's trailing because you know,
You don't think
they have two left feet.
You think they're going to screw it up
offensively?
somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not all.
I said 9 out of 10.
They're not all Hatleys. I mean, under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Juice goal for the Cavaliers after a long defensive possession. Now can they get the attack going? Morris. It's deflected. Gutierrez gets out of trouble.
A lot of lumber thrown there. I don't think any of it hit gloves or stick. Back, shoulder. Refs are letting them play tonight.
It's a rivalry game, man. Come on.
Friday Night Lights.
Mollot gives it to Moss. It's deflected. Gutierrez looking for it. Morris, good ground ball.
Huge ground ball. 15 on the shot clock. Got numbers if they hustle.
Moss, Gutierrez didn't make the extra pass. Instead, the step down. Nice save from Fuller. Oh, did that get blocked on the way in?
Reset, right?
It seems like they're saying it was blocked on the way in. Mollot back behind. He's got to make a move. The dive, not able to get it on cage.
I mean, the ref was right there on goal line center. I guess he saw the call and made it, but.
Yep. I would say we did not see what they saw, but we're also not completely impartial. Final minute of the first quarter, and it's going to go right back the way of the Cavaliers.
You got 37 seconds here. Let's get in, settle a little bit. And Glenn, these low clock situations.
You got a question that you wanted to ask me?
It's been on my mind.
Okay. What have you been thinking about, bud?
Offensively, low clock. When do you go? When do you go to the cage?
Man, I'm so glad you asked. As you know, I'm a 17-second man. That's what they've called me for a long time, a 17-second man. I think that's the only appropriate answer, and anyone that says 12 is insane.
Okay, let's see what they do. 12 seconds, they're going to the cage.
How about that? Morris coming back the other way, trying to get free, nothing there. Clock ticking down. Moss digging in from outside off the pipe.
Jeez.
That will be how the first quarter will come to a close. Cavaliers in front 2-1 after 1. Glenn Clark, Andrew Scally with you from here at Whittles Field. Hot goalie early on for St. Mary's. How might that be impacting the shot selection from the Cavaliers?
I don't know how much it's impacting necessarily. They're peppering him. I mean, he's making some saves. I think there's been a handful that have been high to high. I don't know how many left-handed goalies they faced so far this year. Anytime you see somebody, opposite of what you're used to seeing, it's going to throw you off a little bit. But they're getting good shots. They're hitting the pipe. They're having some deflections. I'm pretty happy with the shots they've gotten so far. So I think if they just keep peppering them and stay at it, I think they'll start dropping here.
You mentioned the conversation that you had with Evan Hockel. What do you think? You're special? I talked to him too. Evan
Did he give you the 17-9 stat?
No.
If so, I gotta call him instead of text him because he's giving you all the goodies. But
actually, I just went with email this week. Coach Hockel said this week the priority: want to play a clean game. Let them make the mistakes and then capitalize off of them. Going to need to have strong 6-on-6 possessions on both ends of the field. Ironically, one of their 2 goals did not come in a 6-on-6 situation. It came, of course, on a delayed break. But what do you make of what you've seen so far in terms of the Cavaliers playing a clean game?
I think they're taking care of the ball. I think the first minute and a half, 2 minutes of any rivalry game is going to be a little helter-skelter, which we saw literally from the first face-off. But defensively, I've been impressed with what I've seen. They've been solid 6v6. They're pressing out a little bit, applying pressure. I think they're winning individual matchups defensively. One strong take by St. Mary's that found the back of the net, but I'm happy defensively. Offensively, I think the name of the game is patience. I just talked about the shot selection. They're getting good shots, so just stick with the program, stay 6v6, keep the ball on that side of the field, and they'll be okay.
2-1, Cavaliers in front of St. Mary's. As we begin quarter number 2, teams switch sides. Spalding in the white shirts, the white shorts, the red numerals, attacking right to left on your
internet dial.
St. Mary's,
which I know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Everyone knows. Quick, clean pickup and a shot just wide from Bradley Strong, the senior faceoff specialist from Lothian. St. Mary's coming off an 11-8 loss to Blakefield on Tuesday at home. They had defeated Mount St. Joe 12-7 on March 27th. The outcome that really stood out to me for the Saints so far this season, a 7-6 win over St. Anne's Belfield back on St. Patrick's Day. Reason to believe they're heading in the right direction. Overend trying to get his hands free. It's being given nothing by Carson Blair. To the opposite side, Polito. Polito draws the slide, hits the turf, able to get back up. Saints can't take advantage. Still lots of time, 35 on the possession clock. Gale trying to get top side. Hines giving him nothing, then the switch.
Slide.
Open, good look, buried by Dion.
Yeah, I mean, they did everything right except for recover. I mean, they slid when they needed to slide and put the ball on the deck. And they kind of got lost. Backside was wide open.
Henry Dion goes 5-hole. The senior midfielder from Annapolis, committed to play at the University of Tampa. The assist from Gale, his first assist and second point of the game, 8th assist of the season. Dion now 10 goals on the year. 2-2 game. Not even a minute gone by here in the second quarter. Wills, tough fight for that one.
It's a big box out right there.
Wills came in tonight 40.1% on the season. Obviously an area where the Cavaliers would like to improve. They've been spoiled a bit. Mollot gives it up to Schwab.
Yeah, I think if you're going 50-50 or worse at the face-off X, you got to win the turnover battle, especially you get further and further into the MIAA A season. You can't give teams extra possessions. That goes without saying. And then, managing the penalty situation. You got to stay out of the box and, again, limit those opportunities.
I respect you having the guts to say it nonetheless. Moss keeps it moving. Now Gutierrez, 22. Extra pass from outside. That one will not get through. Fuller stops that low shot from Schwab.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting right there. I don't think the ball dipped below goal line extended.
I was going to ask
at all.
Did they settle on that?
It was good movement up top, but at some point you got to throw the ball forward and get the defense to actually turn their heads, which then frees up passing lanes to get it back up top. And there's a turnover for St. Mary's.
Air mailed. And I don't know that anybody even noticed that Henry Dion was standing at the near sideline, but that's a tough pass to make across the field.
Yeah, through traffic. But yeah, for this possession here, I'd love to see Spalding kind of get the offense initiated from up top, get the weave motion going, throw forward, and get the ball in the best player's stick, which is Mollot behind the cage. Send that short stick. They had a lot of success against St. Paul's, bringing a short stick, matchup to Mollot to try and get the switch and then get the defense flying around. It opened up lanes for Mollot. He found guys, and they put him back in the net. So right now it's been a little midfield heavy. So hopefully we can initiate Mollot a little bit more here.
Mollot up top. Gets his hands free, but the trail check.
Wow.
Well, the flag comes out. I think it was a push after.
Cross check.
Okay. All right. So that's a big one. That'll be 60 seconds.
Adjusting his helmet there. Might have been a little higher down on the field. It looked actually like a clean hit from here, but don't do that to Mollot.
Sure.
Not now, not never. Don't do it.
Got to protect him at all costs. Brody Gallant, second time he's been hit with a penalty tonight. Second extra man opportunity for the Cavaliers.
Let's get this thing spinning, get the defense moving.
We're not able to convert on their first extra man opportunity of the evening. The fake flip. Mollot back up top to Evans. Carpenter right to the middle. Good look, and Gutierrez gets it.
Good find. Great find, great finish.
First of the game for Zach Gutierrez, number 11 on the season. Talked about the big goal he had. Did you notice that Mollot was celebrating before the shot?
I did.
Did you notice that? Mollot, as soon as the ball was in Gutierrez's stick, he was celebrating what he knew was going to be a tally. 3-2, Spalding back in front, 8:38 to play in the second quarter.
Cavalier goal scored by Zach Gutierrez, assisted by Gavin Carpenter.
For Carpenter,
For the Cavaliers.
that's his first assist of the game, first point, 19th point of the season, and 11th assist. Cavaliers now 1 for 2 with the extra man here tonight. Back in front. No separation for either team early on in this one. Digging in, Brimhall. Brimhall trying to get his hands free, being given nothing. La Rochelle doing the defensive work. Back around back, Clune.
Help down here.
Good matchup, but not on target. Polito able to get top side.
Riley
Ground
out of
ball.
the cage.
How about that?
And handle.
Riley does get it ahead. It won't be a break, but Blair at least protects possession.
That's a great play.
Colin Riley coming out of the cage. Getting the ground ball himself, getting possession back for the Cavaliers, and a chance for them to take their first multi-goal lead of the evening. Morris.
Got numbers here if they hustle.
Chance coming out of the box. Yep. Nothing doing.
It's all right. 40 seconds on the shot clock. I think Spalding is better athletes on this side of the field. So if possession stays down here and they kind of wear them down, I think they're going to get the shots that they like. So I'm okay with maintaining possession here.
Sends it back to the near side. Moss! Oh, low to high, right to the corner.
Yes, sir.
That ball exploded out of his stick. 4-2 Cavaliers.
Nice little throwback here.
Sullivan to Moss. Whew.
I mean, 5 yards.
Turn
and rake. Turn and rake.
Scotty Hommel again thinking, I might want to have kids one day.
I'm good.
Getting out of the way of this one. Ryan Sullivan's first point of the season. Good to have Ryan Sullivan back out there.
Don't call it. Don't call it. No way.
I regret to inform you that they did.
They called
indeed
it. They called it. Listen to me.
Got to do something about getting the broadcast available.
Are our mics not live down there?
They got this beautiful Daktronics board on the other side of the field, and yet for some reason, the real gold, the voices of reason, the voices of a generation, some say. Turnaround shot, not on target for Will Hoyt.
I didn't see the video board with the 17-9 stat. Did you?
That's a great point.
Where'd that come from?
Somebody over here had it. It is a gorgeous Daktronics board, though.
It is.
Brody Moss's 23rd goal of the season. He had a pair against St. Paul's on Tuesday. Starting to get a little chilly. Starting to think that I should have considered bringing a jacket with me this evening.
I ditched my jacket, but I brought sunglasses.
That's good.
How backwards
they
is
won't
that?
help you at all.
I can't wear these sunglasses on my chest.
Turn around. How did that sneak through? Connor Gale with absolutely no pipe to work. Somehow able to get it to go anyway. Second of the game for Gale. Watch this one more time.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about hugging the pipe. Couldn't be hugging the pipe anymore.
Yeah, that's one I think Riley won't back there. He was in position. Good finish there.
Gale's 22nd of the season. 4-3, back to a one-goal game with 5:45 to play in the second. This one's going to come all the way to the restraining line.
Nice ground ball.
Really good. Hines, you got to play that cleanly or else.
Got a player down on St. Mary's attack.
Correct. That's actually the goal scorer, Connor Gale.
They don't see him. Stop
and
play
now
here.
they will finally stop play. Of course, there was no advantage. It was even on the other side. And you always want to make sure that you are considerate of player safety. And so they're going to check on Connor Gale here with 5:28 remaining in the second quarter. Cavaliers got it to 4-2. It was the first time either team had a multi-goal advantage in this game, but then St. Mary's answers right back. You can sort of feel the tension of this one. Rivalry, Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, guys are flying around. There's definitely a lot of animosity. There's a lot of celebration, a lot of jawing, looking at the sideline, talking a little smack.
And
All
we're
good
just
stuff.
And we're just talking about what the color analyst has been doing tonight. Ducking out. That's the reason why
Players
it's cold
still.
up here. The door's still open, so it's a quicker path for Scally to go out and say some words to some of the St. Mary's fans in attendance.
I would never.
Mollot
Good find.
gives it up at the last second.
Ooh.
Oh, that was a great look, but Evans couldn't get it on target.
That's when you take 20 miles an hour off of it and just place it. He had all the time in the world to step down on that thing and place it. But either way, maintain possession.
And again, created by Mollot with that exceptional dodge and the attention that you have to pay to him. Moss gets free, just a bit wide.
It's a great move. He had the entire right alley to get to. I think the defense was overreacting to close that alley down. He spun back to his left. Just a little off target.
Mollot again.
Bringing the short stick. I like this.
Try to get the matchup. Carpenter setting the screen. They go right back to him. Carpenter has a path. Oh, the idea was there. He was looking for Evans. Cavaliers will maintain possession as Moss gets the ground ball.
Still 30 on the clock.
Feeds
too.
it all the way up top. Morris was thinking about a step down, but he had
Change
two
fields.
blue shirts all over him. Mollot under
He's gonna
20.
Re-dodge this. Look for a quick slide here. Mollot to find a step down.
And you can see they're immediately thinking about where Mollot's going the moment he makes his move. Down to 8. Tipping through. Carpenter
Given
can't
a
get
high
the shot
hit.
off.
Good defense there by the Saints.
Liam Boldick coming away with it. Sophomore long stick midi from Nashua, New Hampshire. Pushes it ahead to Gallant. And the Saints will have an opportunity to try to get level here. This one is a grind. Nothing's going to be easy this evening. Good to see Connor Gale back out there. And Gale trying to do the exact same thing he just did. This time Riley's there, but can't field the ground ball. Trouble. Ball back out on the turf.
Get in the hole here. Timeout by the Saints.
Riley indeed was back between the pipes. St. Mary's takes their first timeout with 3:22 to play in the first half. Cavaliers still in front 4-3. This feels like the type of night where you're going to have to be patient, where you can't let any individual possession get to you. You're going to need 4 quarters of lacrosse, and it might very well come down to what happens at the end.
Yeah, 100%. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with not giving the other team opportunities to score. I mean, it could be, like you said, the last person with the ball is going to, win this game. It does feel pretty similar to that St. Paul's game back on Tuesday, where after St. Paul's had cut the lead, back and forth, you're kind of holding your breath every possession because you don't know if you're going to get the ball back. Right now, obviously, Spalding holds the 1-goal lead, but St. Mary's with the ball, a good timeout there after a tough ground ball. So we'll see what they come out of this timeout with. Curious to see what Spalding does, defensively. They went to a zone, earlier in the season. I don't think I've seen it since. Maybe it's a personnel, thing, but curious to see if St. Mary's comes out in set play and how Spalding responds.
Smarter men than I know you don't believe such a thing exists, but smarter men than I have said if it's not in your DNA, then it's unnatural to try to go to a zone. I always think that maybe late, for example, if there were 19 seconds left on the shot clock here when the timeout was taken, that's a
Different
good spot,
story.
right?
Completely different story.
You throw in the zone there. But with 59 seconds left, it's not into your DNA. I don't think you do it. Overend. Now he gives it up. It's Polito. Polito moves it back to Overend. Playing a two-man game right now with Polito. Polito one-on-one. Nowhere to go. Sends it back to X.
Quick feet there. Working that slip. I got to continue to talk through that.
Clune. All the way back behind once more. Polito. Polito gets topside. The shot impacted. No flag comes out. Down to 17 on the shot clock. And
Good
that
left.
one's just tossed away. Gale will track it down. And Hines gives him a nice shove. Gale just tosses it in direction of midfield. It is, well, it was
Over and
briefly looked like it was going to be kept on, but to your point, didn't happen.
Settle here.
Dangerous pass. Mollot gets to it.
Settled up.
Blair gives it up, thinking about it. Schwab doesn't pull the trigger, and maybe
There we go.
this time, hang on, Moss is going to get a look, steps into it. Oh, my.
Again, take 15, 20 miles an hour off of it, place it. See the net, hit the net.
No one seemed to want to pick him up there. And the Cavaliers are going to take their first timeout with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. What are you doing out of this timeout, Andrew Scally?
I'm going to spin the ball probably twice around and we get the ball back to Mollot. I'm going to send the short stick off of the crease, try and get that switch. And then I think last game Mollot was quick to kind of attack that that matchup to try and create some, short, advantage for himself. I'd like to see a little bit more patience out of him, stretch that short stick defender further away from the rest of the defense so that he can actually get a good run at him. They know that they're going to get a slide off the crease as soon as Mollot makes his first move, but that's when you kind of create that offense and throw it forward, 2 passes to the backside, dodge down the alley, and do it back, all over again. But right now, spin it twice, see what the defense is in, get them moving, get the ball on Mollot's stick, send the short stick, and play from there.
If they do anything other than that, it will be the worst decision ever made in the history. I've got to really think about the entire staff, frankly. And I'm kidding, obviously, of course.
I mean, you're going to change it at halftime, right? Just get them out of here.
Red out night here tonight at Whittles Field. A great crowd on hand. Unfortunately, some of them wearing blue, but an awful lot of red nonetheless. Awesome atmosphere here under the lights.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your record is coming into this game. Both teams obviously get pretty hyped for the game, and a lot of build-up in practice. I'm sure some text messages were flying around.
No doubt. Some of these guys work together, as you mentioned. Probably go to parties or play club together. Mollot. They didn't spin it twice. Good fake. Gutierrez chooses not to pull the trigger. Now Carpenter. It's going to be a tough ground ball. Gutierrez tried to keep it alive. Wow.
Move it twice. Move it twice. Move it twice.
Schwab comes away with it. Moss showing with his left. Obviously not strong. Now to the opposite side. Schwab gives it up. Good look for Gutierrez, but Fuller's got it.
Yeah, it's a tough shot. I mean, it's a throwback. You got to collect your body after setting the pick. Right there, kind of fading away from the cage. Our momentum going towards the sideline, around towards the cage. It's tough to get enough power on that thing. Goalie saw it the whole way.
Final minute of the first half will be interesting to see. You would think St. Mary's would think about taking a timeout. They work on this a lot. Head coach Will Dalton mentioned former standout at Maryland. Played a long time in the pros, both indoor and outdoor. Incredible face-off specialist.
There we go.
And it's thrown away.
That's a gift.
29 seconds remaining. Cavaliers get it back. Chance to add one more before the half.
I tell you what, Glenn, Let's go 17 seconds here. You know
thinking,
why?
is that what you're thinking? Because I was about to ask you a question.
You know why? I just haven't liked.
Yeah.
I mean, the early action.
Wow, not going to even get the opportunity.
Hold that thought.
Right. Now, need to settle up at the timeout taken first. That's smart. Don't want to allow any sort of break there for the Saints. Let's see if they change the clock. I thought the clock had started when it looked like a restart, but the timeout was taken by the Cavaliers in order to settle up defensively, and that is frustrating. You're given that gift by your opponent, and you decide to re-gift it.
Give it right back. I mean, we talked about on Tuesday that the sidelines, the crease, the end line, they all act as that extra defender. Right there, you're trying to run the tightrope. You know, it's tough.
Well, this is something that, look, early on in the season, our storylines were a lot about who's gone, who's replacing them, the relative lack of experience, guys that are stepping up into much bigger roles. And Coach Hockel acknowledged that what would come along with that would be they've got to be tighter in situations. They've got to handle end of quarters much better. Here's one of those situations where they, obviously didn't do that.
Well, I mean, the situational stuff, like you said, is critical, and they practice that stuff every day in practice. The problem is it doesn't get the attention, and the focus from the players in practice because, they rather, run shooting drills or, one-on-ones or whatever it may be. But those little situations are the difference maker in a lot of games. Right there, St. Mary's is, banging on the head against the board saying, well, how do we just turn that ball over? And then Spalding turns around, does the same thing, and now St. Mary's forcing it out of a turnover, throwing it away themselves.
8 seconds left.
I'm going at 8 seconds.
Yeah, is that when you're engaging?
Going at 8
you're
seconds.
Engaging at 8.
I'm going at 8.
And St. Mary's is going to take their last timeout and just talk about how you defend the chuck down to the opposite side of the field. And how do you defend the chuck down to the opposite side of the field?
I think it's just you're checking down on hands. As soon as that ball goes in the air, you're without being too aggressive and drawing it, causing a penalty here. You're cracking down on gloves and keeping sticks out of the air, preventing the pass. But I think offensively, I'm setting a little down pick here for somebody coming from behind to try and get a little bit of confusion. Hope that St. Mary's doesn't talk through it. There's no switch, and you get lucky. These last second plays are always
I'm just
a little bit of luck.
I'm going to ask something wild, right? In basketball, it always blows my mind how little time is left on a clock and a player's ability to go coast to coast.
They still managed.
In that, you're like, there's 2.9 seconds left. They're just going to have to toss it up from midfield, and somehow they get all the way to the basket. Is there any world? I know the field is much larger than a basketball court, but with 8 seconds, is there any world where there's somebody that you trust and you say, just run as far as you can and then take a shot?
I don't think you're running the ball. I think that kills time.
Too
I
much
think the
time.
ball travels way faster than the players.
Obviously.
So I'm launching it down here. Like I said, I'm setting maybe one pick, creating a little chaos. How many times have you seen kind of a scrum in front of the cage? Goalie comes out thinking he's going to, play defense there. Deflection kind of tips and goes in the cage. So I'm throwing it towards the cage and get a little chaos.
Also, I forgot it was literally in the corner. So, yes, there's no way.
Full distance.
La Rochelle gives it the chuck. And,
Mollot took one in the back there. That was head towards the cage, though.
The clock hadn't expired until the ball was picked up. That's how the first half comes to a close. Tough, hard-fought battle in these first 24 minutes, and the Cavaliers take a 4-3 lead to the half. You're watching Archbishop Spalding Lacrosse.
Become what you believe. Matthew 9:29. Another sunrise at Spalding. Another student thinking about their future. Another athlete making a crowd cheer. Another artist finding their voice. Dreamers having their first dream. Another sunrise for you. You who choose boldness, faith, and selflessness. Finding your community and forging your future. Making the choices that will carry you as you decide who you will become. The star of the show. A world changer. A leader. Become you, whoever you choose to be.
There's a certain type of warm, welcoming environment. That's not only what I felt as a student, but as a Spalding alumni.
That is what the community feels like. Feels like home.
When I first went here in 1966, there was a home ec lab, and now there is a robotics lab.
It's obviously changed so much, but it's still the same.
I carry with me the confidence that was built right here at Spalding.
Look at the people that have graduated from Spalding, and they're well-rounded. They're strong-willed people, and they want to change the world in their chosen professions. I can see through my children, and I'm now hoping my grandchildren's eyes. We're all part of something special.
A legacy.
When I was looking for a school, I was looking for a place that would take me seriously.
Somewhere that felt alive.
Spalding helped me to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I'm very excited about my future. I've been inspired. I've been pushed. I was allowed to find my voice and thrive.
When I think back to my time here, I felt prepared for life.
The education, the experience.
If I had to do it all over again,
I would not change a thing.
And I want that same feeling for my kids.
Become what you believe. Matthew 9:29. Another sunrise at Spalding. Another student thinking about their future. Another athlete making a crowd cheer. Another artist finding their voice. Dreamers having their first dream. Another sunrise for you. You who choose boldness, faith, and selflessness. Finding your community and forging your future. Making the choices that will carry you as you decide who you will become. The star of the show. A world changer. A leader. Become you, whoever you choose to be.
There's a certain type of warm, welcoming environment. That's not only what I felt as a student, but as a Spalding alumni.
That is what the community feels like. Feels like home.
When I first went here in 1966, there was a home ec lab, and now there is a robotics lab.
It's obviously changed so much, but it's still the same.
I carry with me the confidence that was built right here at Spalding.
Look at the people that have graduated from Spalding, and they're well-rounded. They're strong-willed people, and they want to change the world in their chosen professions. I can see through my children, and I'm now hoping my grandchildren's eyes. We're all part of something special.
A legacy.
When I was looking for a school, I was looking for a place that would take me seriously.
Somewhere that felt alive.
Spalding taught me to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I'm very excited about my future. I've been inspired. I've been pushed. I was allowed to find my voice and thrive.
When I think back to my time here, I felt prepared for life.
The education, the experience.
If I had to do it all over again,
I would not change a thing.
And I want that same feeling for my kids.
(4-3) Spalding in front of St. Mary's as we get ready for the start of half number 2. He's Andrew Scally. I'm Glenn Clark. We've got a great crew from Hype Time Sports working with us tonight. Andrew, what can Spalding do to get the offense going a little bit more consistently here in the second half?
I don't know. I mean, I liked what I saw in the first half. I think the goalie was making some good saves and kind of kept their defense in it. I do want to see, I mentioned, the offense initiating from up top rather than from behind. So if they can kind of flip that, get the defense reacting, turn their heads, and have Mollot find some skip lanes for some step downs, I think they'll be successful. But, again, I like the way they shared the ball. They were patient. So hopefully it's more of the same, except for a few more hit the back of the net.
Will Hoyt picks up the ground ball, so it's possession for the Saints with an opportunity to tie it up early in this second quarter. The largest lead of the game for either team has been 2. At 4-2 for the Cavaliers. Currently 4-3. No individual player that's really asserted themselves to this point. 2 goals for Connor Gale. All 4 goals from 4 different goal scorers for the Cavaliers. Brimhall with it for the Saints. Trying to bulldoze his way in front.
It's body on body right there.
La Rochelle getting the job done defensively.
Bench press him right out of the way.
He is strong, man. Country strong. Good opportunity here and bounced in. It goes for over end. Open
just like
look.
that.
Tie game.
Right
Blair.
there, sliding adjacent.
Hines not able to get there. Neither was Brilan Jones. And an open look for Overend, his first of the game, 16th of the season. Senior midfielder from Annapolis. Much like his teammate Henry Dion, headed to play at the University of Tampa. Said, I hear the weather's nice down there. Face-off violation, we'll give it to the Cavaliers. So, it's not like a run because it's been over a prolonged period of time and it's just 2 goals, but it's been a little while.
Feels like a run.
Yeah, Cavaliers have gone cold. Dodging
dodge.
all the way in front. Big pile up. Mollot ended up in the crease anyway. I like the idea, but did they need a possession?
I mean, again, it's tough. That's one of those plays. There's no, yes, right? He's accustomed to making those plays. But right there, you're right. I mean, they just gave up a goal to start the quarter. It'd be nice to get a possession, get that lead back. But, again, it's hard to question that. He saw a window and he went for it. I think that's an all or nothing, dodge, right? He didn't really have a bailout opportunity, which right there, tested defense, see the window close. Again, we talked about that, extra line being a defender. The crease right there is closing in on him quickly, bail out, maintain possession, and, live to fight another day. Now St. Mary's on the attack, feeling a little more momentum.
Overend dodging to his right, shoots it wide. Backup is there in Brimhall.
Tell you what, St. Mary's is coming out dodging hard.
And they are clearly trying to get hands free. Turnaround impacted. Good work from La Rochelle, and a great job of not only coming away with that, but spinning free by Jones.
Pure fast break here. Mollot for the skip.
Extra pass. Blair moves it. Oh, another pipe. How many pipes is that tonight?
Always best friend right there. But see, right there, I mean, that's a fantastic 4v3, good find, good finish, or a good shot, rather. Just unlucky. So keep firing away. Eventually, they're going to start dropping.
Cavaliers, their first settled possession of the second half, looking to go back in front. In this rivalry game, Moss gives it up to Gutierrez. Gutierrez has some space, but it's blocked. Gardner picks it up.
No penalties.
And Gardner just loses his footing. The turf monster gets to him.
I'm surprised that was a no call right there, but I'll take it.
Cavaliers another possession. Trying to move back in front. Second midfield out there with Morris. I say second midfield. It's not a full second midfield. It's sort of just an extension of the first midfield. Mollot again makes the move, swings it back behind to X. Schwab looking to dodge. Schwab gets in front. Not able to put it past Fuller, who's been on his game tonight.
I mean, what I'm seeing offensively, it seems like a one dodge, one shot type approach. You have Mollot kind of all or nothing dodge in the last possession. Another one right there. Leaving their feet, and when you leave your feet, you can't bail out. You can't run through X. You can't throw it forward. Again, it's all or nothing. And right there, that's, let's call it a turnover. It was a bad shot. It's a turnover. And now it's leading to a penalty. So kind of compounding errors here. Hopefully they can get settled here on defense.
A little advantage here for Brimhall. He had a step. They didn't get it to him very quickly. That allows Chernesky to get settled. Ball's loose. Mollot picks it up as he was hanging out there. But, indeed, it's going to be an extra man opportunity. 30-second 30-second variation. As our lead official explains. First extra man chance tonight for the Saints.
I think defensively, these guys are saying, hey, guys, we've done our job on our side.
Right.
Let's take care of the ball offensively and, give us a little bit of breather. Right now they're in a tough spot. They just played a bunch of defense to start this quarter. Now they're facing, a man-up offense. First one, first time for the night, so we'll see what St. Mary's can do. But
Always interesting to see how aggressive a team is with a 30-second man up, knowing you'd still have a possession coming. Boy, wow, I can't believe that was called.
Soft.
Picked up by Riley. There was still 1 second left on the original penalty. That's the only good news, is that it won't really be a two-man advantage. Quickly, Cavaliers will get it back, but the slash indeed called on La Rochelle.
They're actually going to get more than a second here. I mean, it takes more than a second
That's
to run
true,
down, so they're going to have maybe, 3-4 seconds maybe.
But you probably don't want to force anything.
They're going to get settled here and
yep.
Get back another set. Now they have, you talk about what do you do in a 30-second penalty. Now they have double that.
They sure do.
Practice on 30 seconds before that.
You guys have been out there for a little while.
Watch the guy creeping from X here. He's flashed a couple times, been open. Defense is looking upfield.
Still 40 seconds to 6-on-5. All the way up top. Step down and a great save. Riley wasn't able to hold on, but the ball was there for Blair.
I'll give up that shot all day.
Yeah, it does seem like you're settling when you've had such a prolonged extra man chance. Here, pulling the trigger from downtown.
I think that was some patience running out right there. I mean, 15 yards. Defense did their job. I mean, great stand right there. Now, we talked about offense getting possession here. This possession, probably the most important so far of the quarter. Gave your defense a break, settle in, wear St. Mary's defense down, and get a good look.
Schwab runs out the remainder of the penalty. 6 minutes remaining, midway point of this third quarter.
I like this matchup here.
Gutierrez getting his hands free. Didn't force it. Sends it back behind. Mollot around the screen. Good job defensively to come greet him. Now Mollot on the redodge. Feeds it up top. The pass behind Gavin Carpenter. It is kept on. La Rochelle able to get it at midfield. Down to 14 on the clock. Moss makes his move.
Good follow.
To the cutter.
There it is.
Oh, Mollot.
There it is.
Two guys that know each other well. Don't panic in that spot. Moss to Mollot. Cavaliers go back in front.
That's a great find. I mean, right there, just awareness. 10 seconds or so on the clock. A lot of runway in front of them. Brady with an unbelievable follow there. Saw his defender kind of hung up in front of the cage. Saw a window went same side, which a lot of times you clear through for the guy dodging at you. But right there, there's enough space in front of both of them to kind of make a play. And Moss found him, Mollot did the rest.
Second goal, third point of the game for Brady Mollot. First assist and second point for Brody Moss. Pair of seniors, been playing together. Very comfortable.
Hole right there.
Oh, what a job by Wills to hang on through that. It's not called.
Offsides here,
Wills
too.
Now. Williams is
sure.
right through, he scores.
Sure. Look at the sideline. They're loving it.
Brody Wills, his first career goal. Nobody picked him up, and he made him pay.
Love that. See the follow one more time.
That was the Mollot goal.
We come back and see this other goal here.
6-4. Cavaliers match their largest lead of the night. Back-to-back goals in the span of about 15 seconds.
Tell you what, if there was a no, yes goal,
yeah,
we just saw it.
Well, at some point, if they don't pick you up, it feels like you really don't have a choice. You
got to make them respect it.
100%. Now, Will's a little bit tired. Strong able to win that. And he wins it backwards. And the Cavaliers are going to pressure a little bit here. Still lots of time, 10 seconds.
Ward there. Got away with it.
Not called on Gardner. He gets it ahead. Big hit. Ball's loose. Important ground ball held on to by Clune. Sophomore attacker from Edgewater. So now just as St. Mary's had got this thing equalized. Cavaliers with momentum very squarely back on their side. How do the Saints respond?
Yeah, I don't know which goals, provided more juice for the Spalding team. The one from Mollot that put them up one, or the, go ahead from the Fogo.
I mean,
there,
the way the bench responded, I think it's the Wills goal.
For sure. But I right now with, the rivalry, we talk about the excitement, the build up to this. You get that excitement, you get a little overexcited. Spalding's got to settle in here defensively.
Great point.
You saw as soon as the ball transitioned to this side of the field, they're pressing out a little bit, they're throwing sticks a little bit more. So got to stick with the game plan, settle in here, and just continue to do what has been working for you.
Berger not able to find the loose ball. Down to 10 on the shot clock.
Good slide.
Oh, a couple of moves from Gale. Now he tries to move it to the middle, and it's going to go the other way.
Nice double team right there.
Riley able to get it. Cavaliers with a little bit of swagger right now. La Rochelle fortunate that ball did not go out, and very fortunate that Moss was there to help. And just as soon as we say that, it's offsides. You want to take a look at that goal? Maybe we'll wait till a timeout. Nope, there it is. Here we go. Brody Wills. Nobody's picking him up. Nobody's picking him up. Score now. Goal's open. Mollot. He makes them pay. And for Brady Mollot, this game is his recital. He thinks it's very vital to rock a rhyme that's right on time. Hat Tricky is his title.
I was wondering if you were going to get, dust that one off for the season.
Been a little while.
It's been a while. I like
a little while.
Well executed.
Good to be back.
Let's see that replay one more time. I was watching the other replay, getting excited about that one. I missed the live action.
Paul Garza.
We're keeping Paul on his toes tonight.
Paul Garza is saying, come on, man. I'm only one man. Can only ask so much of me. 7-4. Mollot in the largest lead of the game for the Cavaliers. The other way, that shot wide. Brimhall loading it up. Not able to get it to go. Momentum very much on the side of the Cavaliers right now. And it feels like these become a pretty important 3 minutes for St. Mary's. A game that had no separation whatsoever, and you had the momentum on your side.
Good trap check there.
Just right out of the stick. Ground ball picked up. It's headed the other way.
Yeah, I mean, St. Mary's came into this quarter, started out great, put the ball in the back of the net. He wants more.
Yeah, I don't know about that from C.J. Craddock. I think there were better options there. But no harm, no foul. Yeah. The point is now the Cavaliers have a chance to really stretch this lead out. I think this is critical for St. Mary's if they're going to stay in this game.
Yeah, like you said, momentum's clearly on Spalding's side here. But I'm looking for them not to get too far out of their skis. They've gotten a couple freebies, I would say, on oddball type plays. 6v6 has still been relatively sloppy. You talk about the one dodge, one shot type mentality. So right here, I'm okay with them taking a little air out of the ball. 40 seconds left on the shot clock here. Ball's in the best player's stick. Get into a set and kind of get back to the basics.
Mollot's having a huge night. 3 goals and an assist. Mollot loses his footing there.
So here with a shorty matchup. Oh.
Now they get a pull back on him. It's Hommel. Mollot feeds it up top, and it's stung. Low to low by Colby Evans.
There we go.
First of the game for Evans. 9th of the season. A 5-point night for Mollot. Cavaliers doubling up the Saints.
He's not done either. A lot of lacrosse left.
A rifle from Evans. We saw that in the first half. He had a look, and you said maybe take a little bit off of that one. Just place it better. That one was placed quite well.
Also, you've never seen a ball go so low it misses the cage, right?
That's a good point. Almost impossible.
Yeah, I would say nearly impossible.
Right.
The first couple shots in the first half, he's bringing it high heat, and he's, wide left, wide right, high. Right there, brought it low, changed up his plane. Caught the goalie. Great shot.
8-4, 4-0 run for Spalding to stretch out the lead. St. Mary's. Boy, if any team ever needed a goal, the Saints need a goal right now. Something to change the juju. Cavaliers looking to make sure they at least keep it here, maybe add to it before the end of the quarter. Brimhall. Shoved by La Rochelle, moves it back up top. Dion knifing his way through. That's a big goal.
Strong dodge right there. I mean, he ran through probably 3-4 defenders.
Henry Dion ends the 4-0 run, cuts it to 8-5.
It's a good finish. But right there, I mean, defensively, a lot of stick swinging. Right, trying to take the ball away, make the big play, the highlight reel play. Right there, you got to put a shoulder, right through his chest. Get the ball on the ground that way.
It's a great point. Force him back. Get him off his line. 1:08 remaining. Whoever wins this faceoff will have the opportunity, if they so choose, your mission, should you choose to accept it, having the quarter end on your terms. And the Cavaliers will have that opportunity. And, boy, that leads us to a very important question.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there, Glenn. We got a lot of clock to get to either one of our answers.
But understand,
you want to start thinking about it?
That they could, if they so choose, hold the ball, and then they would pick when they want to engage.
That's true.
Right now, it's looking like that might be the choice they make. And so if that is the case,
if we get there,
right, I just feel like it's important that we finally go on the record. The people have been asking. My phone has been blowing up all day. There have been requests.
At Glenn Clark is just ringing off the hook.
At Glenn Clark Radio.
My bad.
The phones have been hot. Media all over the world
the internet dial is spinning like
the
a top.
Answer to the question, when would you engage?
I would say about 3 seconds from now.
Okay.
Just to give you, here we go, 17 seconds.
I love that. That's the answer.
Skip.
Mollot up top. Good fake. Moss. There it is. That's why I engage with 17 seconds.
You know what they say, Glenn? A broke clock is right twice a day. Okay, you keep saying it. It's going to happen.
Second of the game from Moss. I think we'll call that one unassisted. What do you think? Is that
no, give him the apple.
Let's see.
Mollot deserves it. He's an automatic slide. That's a great find.
I am not the arbiter of such decisions. 11 seconds. There is time.
If they only had one more. Give him 12 seconds. This is a whole different ball game, a whole different possession here.
We saw Wills score in about 6 seconds the last time he won a face-off forward.
Keep it on the ground.
Slows down just enough.
Keep it on the ground.
It is finally picked up. That's official. It is official. They're giving Mollot the assist on that goal.
Rightfully so.
He's got 6 points tonight. The Cavaliers have a 4-goal lead. And what a difference a quarter can make, Andrew Scally.
I mean, I don't even know if I would say a quarter, a half a quarter, right? I mean, the first half of that third quarter, St. Mary's came out of the gate hot, applied a little pressure. You're saying, okay, how's Spalding going to respond here? A couple bad offensive possessions, a couple turnovers. The defense stepped up, got the ball back to the offense. They settled in. A couple, riding turnovers led to goals.
This was a big
and
sequence.
They kind of just grounded. Yeah, I mean,
because back-to-back penalties for the Cavaliers led to a total of 90 seconds, or 89 man down. But here he seemed to settle with that long shot, and the Cavaliers came to life from there. And if someone's going to bring you to life, other than the band Evanescence, I would say that Brady Mollot would be a good choice. That's a deep cut, brother.
That is a deep cut, and I'm
here
for it.
A single Archbishop Spalding player is aware whatsoever of that cut.
You got to educate.
9-5, 1 quarter remaining. That was the big one. Wills off the faceoff win, scoring himself. Now, there's probably a bit of a danger here. As we'll watch Mollot feed Moss. Sorry, that one was Evans. My apologies. And then this one, Mollot, Moss, the fake, the score. Now, my question, any concern about being overconfident going into this quarter, thinking, oh, we just went and killed him in that third quarter, it's over?
No, I mean, I think there's only one thing on their mind, and it's, we got to get to 17 here. right?
That's true.
If we're going to keep this tradition going,
true.
so I think they're still going to be hungry.
Yeah,
Again, it's rivalry, so they're, they get the foot on the throat. They're going to, keep it there. So I think the start of this fourth quarter is really going to set the tone. If Spalding can kind of maintain momentum, answer the call here, then I think they'll be in a good spot to kind of stay in control the rest of this quarter and the rest of this game.
Again, if you're just joining us, a lot of people ask, what's the greatest streak in all of sports? Some people believe it's Joe DiMaggio's record 56-game hitting streak. Others believe it's Cal Ripken's 2,632 consecutive games played streak. But I think we all know that the correct answer, the greatest streak in all of sports, 3 consecutive years, where the final score of the St. Mary's Archbishop Spalding lacrosse game was 17-9. If you're tuning in now, you could be witnessing history because that streak is in jeopardy of ending this evening. Call your friends. Nice save. Riley, 5-on-5 crime, denying
Still
overends.
Still a shot. That's Spalding ball. Still a shot.
Waiting for the official word. There it is.
There we go. What a save.
Wake up your kids. Call Grandpa. Tell him to log on. Because you could see something this evening that we haven't seen in years. Any other final score? Is there a lacrosse scoregami Twitter account?
I think one was just born here tonight.
I think it's time to start.
Also, two baseball references as your greatest streaks.
I mean, baseball is the sport where numbers tend to be the. Well, give me your all-time lacrosse streak. Go ahead.
I was going to go. Oh, here we go.
It is.
Thank God for that penalty. You put me on the spot right there.
Yeah,
I had no answer.
Yeah, I knew that was the case.
I was going to say Evanescence top Billboard hits. But
I dare you to name
dare you to
name another Evanescence song.
Call my cell phone. I have it on loud.
Is it really? No. I would love that so much if it was.
That would be unbelievable.
15 seconds. Now the engagement. Oh, Mollot didn't have the angle. Back behind to X, feeds it up top. Again, the penalty's coming, so it doesn't really matter if they don't convert. Morris tries to give it back to Mollot. He just shoots for the sake of shooting, and now the Cavaliers will go on the extra man. But they did kill some time on the clock in the process, ticking things under 10 minutes to play.
I think the biggest takeaway from that play is Mollot got up limping a little bit there. He took a late hit.
Stretching it out a little bit.
Almost a dead leg, but that right calf seems to be bothering him a little bit, so something to keep an eye on. The other thing to keep an eye on, this referee's got quite the bandage above his left eye.
I am now seeing that from the game or from
Botox going wrong or took a straight stick.
Don't know the answer to that question.
Hope he's okay.
60-second man up here. Cavaliers 1 for 2 so far tonight with the extra attacker. Decent look. Moss joins the party. Hat tricks all around, boys.
I mean, it's not even a play. Just get the ball to the guy that puts it in the back of the net.
And let him bang it home. Second extra man goal of the evening for the Cavaliers.
I mean, off stick, low to high. It's a great finish.
Spalding again doubling up as the lead balloons to 10-5. Largest lead of the night for the Cavaliers. Well, if you would have asked me 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter, do you think that either team will have a 5-goal lead in this game? I would have said not a chance.
I agree. I mean, this is, a game of runs for sure, and right now Spalding's on a great one.
Well, difficult here, and Gale makes them pay. Boy, that was not the idea in that moment. Gale, by his lonesome, but again, weaves his way through.
You watch the replay. What are they doing? They're sliding with stick first instead of body.
Yep.
He's kind of running through checks, and he's going to bear that every time.
Connor Gale's got a hat trick for St. Mary's. It's 10-6. Still 9:17 to play. There is still a lot of time, and that's a huge goal for the Saints, who could have hung their heads, could have felt like this was over. Instead, They win a face-off. They go back to work. Strong and Wills battling. Strong wins another one. And that is the thing about lacrosse. You win face-offs, you can play make it, take it.
Stay on it. Timeout.
Timeout taken by St. Mary's as he was in a little bit of trouble there.
I mean, possessions are important right now. To take, one of your 2 timeouts this early in the fourth quarter, if they're going to make a run, you kind of want to hang on to those. Let them play. I think offensively they got to get a little bit more aggressive, and you're going to find some opportunities in those sloppy plays like we just saw in that last goal. Right there, I get you want to maintain possession. You got to have the ball to score, but it seemed a little helter-skelter. We'll see if that timeout comes back to bite them at the end of the game. Hopefully it's not in play and not a factor as Spalding continues to pull away here, but interesting call.
Well, what Andrew's alluding to, you get to late in the game and you end up in a situation where you're in trouble, where there's defenders draped all over you, where it looks like you're about to lose the ball. You really want to have a timeout in that spot. Now, right now, they do still have 1 timeout remaining, but as you allude to, that's with 9 minutes and 3 seconds to play and a 4-goal deficit that you got to dig your way out of. So I understand the thought. It feels like it's also Will Dalton's way of saying, I think this possession matters.
More important than the last one, sure.
As much as they needed 1, it's still hard to feel like you're in a 4-goal game. And the clock and deficit combination can become troublesome, even just for your belief.
For sure. So let's see what they come out here if they have a set play. Looks like they're going after a certain matchup here.
Different midfield group out there, so I assume it is a set play. Mershaw with this group. Works back behind. They had it spinning. Now Dion cutting. That's not a great-looking shot, but the backup is there. Still 40 on the possession clock. Over end. Looking for some help. Hangs on to it. Now dodges back to his right, sends it behind.
Oh, that is a soft call right there.
Wow.
Get him in a slash. Looked like he got all stick and glove there.
Deflected. The track down by Brimhall, down to 5 on the shot clock. It's out of bounds. It doesn't matter. It will stay with the Saints, and they will go man up for the 3rd time tonight. 0 for 2 so far. We showed it to you. That 3rd quarter man-up opportunity. It was a 30-second penalty, then another 60-second penalty back-to-back. Saints were not able to cash it in, settled for an outside shot. Reinecker called for the slash. It's not must convert for St. Mary's, but it's fairly close.
Yeah. I mean, there's no better opportunity for them than a man-up opportunity to cut the lead. So if there was a time, I think it's now.
Brimhall again from outside off the pipe. It was a good look.
Bounce, but a lift here.
It comes all the way back. Mollot had a shot at it, wasn't able to hold on. Moss lost his footing. And it's going back the way of the Saints.
I'm not sure what the call there was. Obviously a legal procedure, but what exactly it was.
Yeah, it led to that.
He was playing without a stick, got lifted.
I guess that's possible.
Glove came off, something.
37 seconds remaining on the penalty. They'll get a new 60 on the shot clock. Moss blocks it right back down. Mollot. Oh, my gosh.
What a
chance for a shorty, and Moss has it.
What a turn of events. I mean, what tic-tac-toe. Moss with an unbelievable handle and finish
all
there.
of the handles there.
Well, what did we just watch?
That all happened, it felt like in the span of 1.5 seconds. 3 passes. Watched all of this. Well, not this. No disrespect. That was a goal scored by Connor Gale before. We'll see it next time. We'll do it live.
It was better live.
Here it is. Restart.
I mean, Moss with a deflection. Mollot
now
misses the ground ball.
Mollot. Gets it out of trouble. pushed ahead back to Moss by Schwab. Schwab with his first point of the night. Schwab, his 4th assist of the season. The senior from Odenton, a future college teammate of Overend and Dion from St. Mary's. There's still 22 seconds on the penalty.
I think that's kind of getting lost in the shuffle here. They call a timeout, they draw a penalty, they get 60 seconds. Now they're going to get another penalty for interference. But it goes from a timeout to a turnover to getting the ball back to a goal for Spalding.
They're just trying to get this back to even on the penalty because they're down 1 right now.
Where'd that 30 seconds go?
Penalty comes up. That's a parent goal. Riley and another flag. It's going to be 6-on-4.
And this whole time the clock's stopping. I think that's one thing that's super important here is every time the penalty is drawn, they're stopping the clock and giving them a man advantage.
So there's the first call, the interference. And now and just an unnecessary roughness. I was just pointed up to his head. I was wondering about that. I didn't see it, but yes, just unnecessary roughness. So both penalties, yes.
Is good.
Both penalties on Carson Blair, so it will not be 6-on-4 to your point, but it's going to be 90 total seconds. However, as we know, there's only 60 seconds on a shot clock. Now, you can't get a reset, of course, and that would be relevant. We said the last one was nearly must convert. This one is must convert for St. Mary's. Brimhall gives it back.
Big save,
Riley. 5-on-5 crime.
Look up.
Cavaliers will clear it.
Right,
don't have to force anything. Yep.
Settle it up.
You can run the rest of the penalty up, and you would think that St. Mary's might have no choice but to bring an extra defender at this point. Try to get this ball back. It's a 5-goal game with 6 minutes to play. I know that pressure can sometimes create offense, but I just don't know that you have the luxury.
I mean, down 5 with 6 to play, you start getting to the goal minute range. Things get a little dicey.
Mollot races it all the way back. So far, they have not brought the pressure.
I don't like.
Down to 30 on the penalty.
Got to get the ball back down towards the
They
cage.
have timeouts, too. You got to get into the box. Morris, look at that.
Hockel inching down towards the referee. 15 on the penalty.
What a run from Morris.
See if Moss can run out the rest of this thing.
Moss able to get around. Trail check doesn't get him.
Nice
Moss
find.
moves it in front. Mollot, oh, good save. Fuller able to come up with that.
That's a great find
but
right there.
The penalty does come up. Back to even strength. And I believe officially that's now 0 for 5 on the extra man tonight for St. Mary's. What an effort in the man-down defense for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, defense is playing some stout sets here. Goalie's making great saves. And for St. Mary's, that's demoralizing, right? You just had the combined, 5 minutes of penalties, so far, and they haven't been able to convert.
Over and greeted. That's what you've been asking for tonight. Play the body. Down to 35 on the possession clock. St. Mary's in desperation mode. Ball on the turf.
Under control here.
Dion able to get it back. Berger stays with him. Dion forces it in the direction of the goal. 24 on the shot clock. 11-6 with 4:21 to play. Game that has been flipped upside down in the second half. It had been a tough, hard-fought battle. Boy, that's a great take. Brimhall gets one back. He can create offense, man.
I mean, there wasn't a sliver of a window right there. I don't know if he caught kind of the defense and the goalie kind of sleeping there. I guess his hands were completely free. It's right there. You got to, see that the pick is coming, get out, chip, get out his glove and have him, push him off his line. You got to do exactly where we want to get to with his hands free.
First of the game for the future Penn Quaker, the junior attacker from Annapolis, number 16 on the season. And we talk about that math, a goal per minute. They're still in the range, 11-7 with just over 4 to play. Strong was briefly checked. That might have been enough to impact the shot. Ground ball still to be had.
Big ground ball here.
And La Rochelle didn't get it.
This
time he does.
Patience.
Pushes it ahead. That was a dangerous pass. They're going to be very fortunate. That sneaks through to Reinecker. Now you want to slow it down.
Settle it down. There you go, Mollot.
The veteran says, come on, guys. Let's back it out.
Yeah, man, they get this thing under 30 seconds. You're going to see some pressure from St. Mary's with 3:29 left in the game. Just got to sit back and be patient, have some composure, and wait for that opportunity and bury it.
And if you can convert, it just about puts the nail in the coffin. From the near side, Leo Reinecker, younger brother of Aiden.
What's he waiting for, 17 seconds on the clock?
It's almost like he heard that's when you're supposed to engage. Everyone knows that. It was passed down from Mount Sinai.
There were 11 commandments now that I think about it. Thou shalt not go.
Before 17
seconds.
Carpenter gives it
Skip.
up. Oh, looking for Gutierrez in front. Mollot keeps it alive, 6 seconds. And, yeah, he's just going to toss it. They'll set up the ride at 2:32 remaining.
Listen, I'm about to, I'll preface this by saying they took a lot of time off the clock. I think they did what the coaches were asking them to do. But right there, when Mollot gets the ball with 7 seconds left,
let him go.
And is on the clock. Why are you not pushing there, trying to draw a penalty? He's proven he can score right around the crease in a lot of traffic. You either score, you go in the crease, you draw a penalty. They're all, they end the same thing.
Jackson Hines has got it. Great ground ball. Cavaliers giving no quarter to the Saints here in the fourth.
Be smart here. Take care of the ball.
Berger, trying to dump it off to Mollot, not able to connect. So under 2 minutes remaining, at least the slightest bit of breathing room. All the way inside. It's not there for Gale.
Good defense. This good transition defense there.
Gets back to X with Blair on him. They don't have time to waste. Gale trying to make something happen.
Great on-ball defense right here. Shorty matchup.
Nothing.
Closing the door.
Blair.
6 up.
Gale up top. Under a minute and a half remaining. Couple of fakes. Mushaw. Now Dion's got to shoot, and that was an easy
saw
one.
It the whole way.
Riley just goes low.
I might do it.
Ticking to 1 minute to play. It was a 4-4 game in the third quarter. Cavaliers have outscored St. Mary's 7-3 from there.
Open net now.
Don't want to
Come on,
force
guys. We need
the
6
shot.
more goals.
Yeah, right. How do you
not
get
care
to
about
17?
streaks? Do you not care about streaks?
I am. Tragically, I do believe that we're going to see that streak come to a close this evening. Is there? Let's watch one more time. And see Evan Hochul still fired up about something. Let's watch this one more time.
This is one that kind of felt like a backbreaker. This is St. Mary's man-up opportunity. Ball goes over and back. Long sides of a ride, great deflection.
And a great
fancy
pass
ground
in
ball,
front.
fancy catch, fancy finish.
That was all man down.
Called a shorthand goal.
Yeah. I'm aware. I called it that when it happened, jerk.
I just thought you were a baseball guy now. It's all baseball all day. There's other sports out there.
42 seconds remaining. Cavaliers have been outstanding in this second half. What's impressed you most?
I mean, besides Coach Hochul's strong goatee right there, still drawing up plays with 42 seconds left. I mean, that's impressive.
He didn't cut himself shaving today.
He did not. Who would ever do that? But no, I think Spalding. That third quarter started out a little shaky. St. Mary's came out of the gate hot. You know, they had a good halftime speech and came out a little pep in their step, took it to Spalding for a couple of minutes, and then from that point forward, I think Spalding took advantage of a couple costly turnovers by St. Mary's in the riding situation, turned into kind of one-on-none goals for Spalding. You got a big face-off goal, you know, to go up a couple, and then they, you know, didn't take their foot off the gas from that point forward. And St. Mary's had a couple runs, you know, in the fourth quarter, score a goal here, but then Spalding will respond, win a face-off, you know, kill a penalty. You know, I can't say enough about the Spalding's defense tonight, killing, I mean, we'll check the stats afterwards, but a handful of penalties.
I think it's 0 for 5. I really do.
They might be 0 for 5 to do that. I mean, look at the score. It could have easily put them back in the game.
Cavaliers still have one more timeout if they're in trouble. Goal was open. Fuller gets back. 30 seconds remaining. Mollot trying to run it out himself. Cavaliers will be on the road at Severn next Thursday. And then back home to take on Boys Latin on the 21st. Next up for St. Mary's, they've got Boys Latin on Tuesday. What a second half for Spalding tonight. They improved to 5-5 on the season, 3-1 in the A Conference. St. Mary's drops to 5-4 and 1-2 as the Cavaliers win their rivalry matchup 11-7 over the Saints. Andrew Scally, some final thoughts.
I think most importantly, they strung together a couple wins early in the season, especially in the MIAA season, to go, you know, win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. That wears on your, you know, on the entire team. So those Wednesday, Thursday practices leading up to a Friday game can be really tough. Right now, two wins this week. Going into next week, I think they're in a great spot, and hopefully we're seeing them kind of come into their own and some of these rosters, you know, spots closing in, and they're playing as a team. So excited for what next week has.
Thanks to all of you for joining us this evening. It's going to be a couple weeks before we're back here for senior night. Appreciate everyone on our great crew. Paul Garza leading the way. Andrew Scally, always good to see you, my friends. For the entire team, I am Glenn Clark. Again, your final score this evening, Archbishop Spalding 11, St. Mary's 7. You've been watching Cavaliers Lacrosse.